Well, good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else in between. It is Tuesday night. You know what that means. It is time, yes, once again, for your weekly dose of football and entertainment. It is Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. And of course, I'm Nick Rosario. I try to steer this little ship here, make sure we stay on course, all that good stuff. Of course, as you know, I have two lovely co hosts that are always with me. It's always a pleasure to see them. But first, we have a birthday in the Let's Talk Football family. So we want to go ahead and shout out Mr. Sidney Swinton.
Woo!
It is his birthday today.
Happy birthday,
happy
Sydney.
birthday, Mr. Swinton. Yes, happy birthday, Mr. Swinton.
Happy
Whatever
birthday
you're doing,
to
I hope
Sydney. Happy birthday to Sydney and his big arms. He got to show off in every video.
Right. I've never seen a man wear more muscle shirts in my life. No, I've just Sydney. Happy birthday, buddy. Hope you're having a great day, whatever you're doing. Again, happy birthday to you. Part of our Let's Talk Football family. Of course, you can see Sydney on the Fantasy Football Show. He's been on a ton of other shows. He gets us our cards for us. He's a card guy. Like, he does all kind of stuff. So happy birthday, Sydney. But of course, as I said, I have two people here with me. First, of course, is a gentleman who needs no introduction, but if I don't give him one, he gets upset. So here he is, Mr. Fingers himself, Anthony Handy. Anthony, how the hell are you, my friend? It's Tuesday.
Oh man, I'm doing great given the fact that I had a moment of panic. I called it. What did I call it? I had a 50s.
A 50s moment, I believe.
I,
Yes,
I had a,
50s
I had a,
moment,
I had a
you said.
50s moment. I left the house and went to the convenience store to get myself a little something to sip on. I covered the labels because since they're not giving us no sponsorship, but y'all know what that is. And I got to thinking I didn't have my wallet, so I just paid with the Google Pay. But then I got home and I couldn't find my wallet. Wasn't in the car. Wasn't in nowhere. And you guys were like, "Yo, did you find your wallet?" Yeah, it was in my bedroom. Apparently, when I got home and changed, I took my wallet and laid it on the comforter on top of the bed, the extra comforter, and folded that over.
Yes.
Because I was putting laundry away, so I folded that over. I'm freaking out because it's got my ID, it's got my debit cards, it's got my work credit card, everything. I'm like, Lord Jesus, I'm running through a list of things I got to cancel. Yeah, it was in the room. But aside from that, like my shirt says, I am unconquerable, and I am very happy to be here because it is my favorite part of the game.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
I love it.
I love that. It's every week. All right, we got some people watching in the background. I apologize. It says Facebook user, so thank you all for tuning in. Of course, with us, outside of Mr. Handy and myself, we have the lovely Delilah Crespo. Delilah,
Hey.
It's Tuesday. How the hell are you?
I'm good. It's a rainy day in Chicago, so it feels like fall again. So glad I took advantage of the weekend and enjoyed the 70 degrees weather in the Midwest.
Wasn't that beautiful?
It was
such a great weekend. Yeah, it really was.
So
y'all getting ready to get that disrespectful win
that's why we took advantage.
Right. That's why we were out all weekend, because we knew that was the last 70 degree we were going to get. So that's Chicago for you, baby. But well, again,
I was in Chicago. I'm sorry, I was in Chicago one time, getting off a plane coming from Cancun, and I went outside for. I forgot what I went out the airport for. Oh, the only reason people leave the airport for the one thing that you can't do inside the airport. But we won't talk about that on that bad
I get
habit.
it.
And I stepped outside. Listen, when Cat Williams told that story about how disrespectful the wind is in Chicago, I felt every bit of that, because that cold had me making life decisions like, I can wait.
Yes.
I can wait.
Believe me, I've walked out the door many a morning thinking, I don't need to go to work today. That wind's too much. I'm going back inside.
I don't care how much of a Christian you are. When that wind get a hold of you in Chicago, you will cuss at least once.
Yeah. Seriously, it's no lie. It gets very bad here for those who think we're exaggerating. We're truly not. The wind here gets below 40, 50 sometimes. Let me tell you, when that smacks you in the face when you walk out that door, you'll cry. It's not nice. Delilah will tell you. I promise.
You want to turn around, but
do I really need this job? How much do I need?
That's exactly what crosses your mind.
Yeah, it really does. No one wants to play with that. Hey, Nicole, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that. Well, of course, as everyone always knows, every game begins with a coin toss. Let's get it on. All right, so here we are with the coin toss, and the first item up for talking. Wow, the Jets, as you know, lost Breece Hall on Sunday, which was a very big injury. That young man was having a fantastic season so far. But the Jets said, never fear, next man up, and we're going to go get him. They trade with the Jaguars for a conditional 6th-round pick, which could possibly turn to a 5th round, for James Robinson. Guys, I'll go with Handy. I'll go with you first. What do we think about this? James Robinson to the Jets. Give me your thoughts.
Me not really being the guy that follows the Jaguars, I'm like, I'm gonna have to wait and see. But if Mr. I Want the Smoke is excited about it, then I'm excited about it. That's all I can say. Look, if Nick is excited about it, I'm waiting for Nick to say, and once again, my friend. But yes, if Nick is excited about it, I'm excited about it. But I mean, Breece Hall, God, huge loss. I saw that when that happened, and I went, "Oh, that's gonna hurt. That's really gonna hurt." So we show it remains to be seen, because we've seen a lot of situations where it should be a plug and play, like when the Rams went and got Todd Gurley, and so we'll see. We shall see. Now we just hope that
that's a good point.
Yeah, we just hope that Mr. Robinson has healthy knees. That was Todd Gurley's biggest thing. He tore both his knees up before he even got in the league. So anyway,
that's true. No, that is very true. His college days were not great for him either. His knees took a beating then. Delilah, what do you think about this trade? You have any thoughts on that?
Sorry, I was making sure I was unmuted. No, I think that it proves that the Jets aren't playing around. And I feel like that's what happens when you change the atmosphere, right? Because they cleaned house. We know that. Like, they were like bringing everybody at the top, fresh coach, fresh everybody. And you could tell already a huge difference, right? Because the Jets of the past, we knew, would not have reacted this quickly. They probably would have waited a couple of days. Oh, let's see, right? A couple of games to see who they could put in. But they were like, no, we're not even going to do that, right? So I think it's a solid pickup. I understand, like, his knee injuries, right? He's got, like, some knee problems. But I also hear that he's solid. I know that you like to root for the Illinois boys because he's based, he's from like Rockford, whatever, like universities out there. So he's a local kid too. And I know Nick, you like rooting for the local boys.
Oh, sure. Who doesn't?
So no, but I think it does prove that point, right? They said, you know what, we're gonna see what's best available, that they don't have to give up too much, right? Because they didn't have to give up a lot. It's a 6th, maybe a 5th. So it's not like they're giving up a multiple round picks for this guy. So
correct.
I think it's solid. And I think it does show that the Jets are serious about winning. So
my biggest thing was that you have Michael Carter there, and I thought maybe he'd get more reps at first, but the Robinson pairing does make sense, especially he was kind of a little, given what Travis Etienne has done in Jacksonville, he wasn't getting as much time anyways. And so I think there's an opportunity now to split with him and Michael Carter. The Jets now have a nice duo back there, running back, even though, Breece was, like I said, was the main guy. But now you've got a 2-headed monster back there. I think it'd be very successful for you. And given the season you're having, the 5-2 Jets, they're rolling along. So good for them. James Robinson found a new home, and we'll see what he does in the Jets uniform. Moving on a little bit now, we're going to move to quarterbacks. We all know everybody's favorite topic to talk about, right? Everybody loves a good quarterback. But as you know, there were some quarterbacks that changed teams this year that were supposed to help improve some of these teams, right? We saw Carson Wentz go to the Commanders, right? We saw Mariota go to the Falcons. We saw Matt Ryan go to the Colts. These are just 3 examples. And when I look at these three examples, 2 of the 3 aren't starting this week because we know Carson got injured, so Taylor Heineke is taken back over. We know that Matt Ryan has been benched for rookie Sam Ehlinger, and then again Mariota should start this week. Hello, David Wright. How are you, guys? Delilah, I'll start with you. These guys were supposed to come in and help these franchises. What is going on over here? Talk to me.
Okay. To be fair, it seems like out of the 3, Carson is kind of doing better. even though he's injured, like, just saying, I was reading that stat how when he beat us, like, he hasn't lost at the Thursday night football game. He's 7-0 or something like that. So
No, listen to Sean. Thank you, Delilah. Yeah.
I'm gonna give him his due, right? Whatever, regardless of the three.
Right.
So far, it seems to be okay. I think to me the most depressing is Matty Ice, in my opinion, because it's just been really brutal watching who we used to call Matty Ice, and now he's gonna lose that nickname if he don't get out of there. Like,
I think he's already lost.
Looking more like Matty Slushy.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like he just. Yeah, it's honestly, it really is time for him to hang it up. Honestly, like it's kind of sad and brutal to watch that, because we know that he had a great, you know what I mean? Like he really could get the job done, but now it's just not, and it's it's time to go. Yeah.
No, I get it. I mean, it's sad, like I said, sad to see, but you're just like, man, what? Because like, where else could he go at this point? Like. He said, he had the one good game where he threw like for 300 something yards and a couple touchdowns and all that. And then now he's being benched for Sam Ehlinger. So what do you do? Now, Handy, I'm going to ask you, because you are a dirty bird. You're a Falcons fan. Mariota, your boy. I mean, you're 3-4. Technically, you're in second place in your division because Panthers and Saints are 2-5. So you're not, and then so are the Buccaneers. So you're technically right there in the hunt in your division. Do you ride Mariota, or is it Desmond Ridder time? What do you think?
To be completely honest, I am happy that the Falcons are where they are right now, because I didn't think they would be this good at this point. I mean, there were a lot of bright spots to point to, but being a Falcons fan, I'm used to looking at, I mean, look at the squad that went to the Super Bowl in 2018. Yeah. I think it was 51 that just rolled over and asked for a belly rub while Tom and the boys played pitch and catch in the second half.
Right.
So I was used to it. So for me to see the Falcons where they are right now, to see the Falcons have something that they have not had in them for ages, which is fight.
Okay.
That for me, I'm all for that. If Mariota is the guy that's bringing that to the table and he's rallying the troops, especially on offense, I'm 100% behind it. Do I think it's a long-term fix? No, I think it's a good patch. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, and David says exactly what I was getting ready to say. Until they get some things solidified on them. I mean, the offensive line is okay, but until they get that offensive line right, they're not going to have another gunslinger back there for a while. And to touch on Delilah, what you had to say, I wanted for Matty Ice to do well. I really did. Part of me, I get to that, Nicole. Shush. Everybody want to throw the catchphrases out there before I get to them. Y'all calm down, boo boo. Don't make me come out of myself. Okay, I'm back. I'm trying to keep them short.
Sure.
I wanted Matty Ice to do well. I wanted to see him maybe go somewhere and prosper outside of Atlanta. I know that Indy is right now kind of dysfunctional in many different ways. They have some good spotlight players that are bright spots, but and to see what's going on with him it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to see it, but then you think about it. He's been in the league for quite some time. It's been 12, 13 years since he had that MVP season.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, when the Falcons are concerned, we want the South. We want the South. SOUPH. We want all of it. We'll claim Kentucky too as part of the South if y'all will let us have it. Because I hear tell they got some good fried chicken with a secret recipe. I'm done.
Yes, they do. You guys are hilarious.
Thank you.
But personally, right? Nicole did apologize. It's all good. It's all good, Nicole. We appreciate you guys watching. My thing is, I actually, and I know Sean and Will and everybody other I was calling them Redskins. See, Commanders fan. I haven't been a big fan of Carson Wentz the last few years. I think I've made that pretty known on here. And so actually I was like, oh, Taylor Heinicke's coming back. That might actually do something. And, well, he did beat the Packers last week, did he not? So hopefully Tyler, whatever the kid's name is, Heineken, whatever that kid's name is. But I honestly think that he's a little better fit for this Washington offense. And yeah, I think again, I don't hate the Commanders except for when they play the Bears, and we all know what a cheap victory that was. I mean, we lost. I'll admit it. Okay, fine. But going forward, I think Heineke's the guy. And I did say Wentz would be up by week 7, and sure enough, look at that. Prognosticator me, look at me. I see. Once in a while, I get it. Once in a while, I get it right, folks. Even the sun shines on the dogs behind every now and again.
Oh,
so there you
gosh.
go. Yeah. So, anyways, and that's enough of that particular quarterback talk for now. But there is one more place where there could possibly be now a quarterback controversy. For those of you watching Monday Night Football last night, you saw Mac Jones come back from his ankle injury, start the game, play exactly 3 series, throw an interception, and then get benched for the rest of the game. And replaced, of course, with the gentleman who was 2-0 in the previous 2 weeks, Mr. Bailey Zappe. But if you listen to Mr. Belichick talk, that was always the plan. And getting benched after the 3rd series was not a punishment for throwing the interception. And no, he doesn't want to answer any more questions because, as in true Belichick fashion, he always answers with 1 word, generally, or 2 words whenever he's asked a question. But I'll ask you guys, because that's what we do here. Delilah, Bailey Zappe or Mac Jones? What does Belichick do going forward?
Bailey Zappe. I will say what I've always said, that last year was a fluke. Mac Jones wasn't that great. He was better than the rookies who started. But if you looked at those games, Bill Belichick won those games with his defense and running the ball. Like every single game that they won, it was because Bill Belichick was like, I'm not going to let you pass too much. He really didn't let Mac Jones pass too much. He ran the ball mostly, and he always made sure his defense went back into the game to get the ball back, right? So to me, those games were won because of Bill being smart. And basically, yeah, see? So, like, to me, he thought Mac Jones was the answer, but then he got this kid, and he, to me, fits more that Bill Belichick mold. He went out there and got 2 wins pretty quickly. Even though he lost to the Bears, he was the only one who actually went out there put up points, right? He had his first, as soon as he went out there, got a touchdown. Then he capitalized on a dumb interception, right? He had a drive that got a rushing touchdown out of it. So, I do feel that comparing the 2 quarterbacks, he does fit more of that Bill Belichick mold. That's my opinion.
Oh, no problem. Handy, what say you, my friend?
Well, it's like Delilah said, a lot of people thought that Mac Jones was the answer when he turned out to be more of the question. And I mean, Delilah touched on the whole bunch of talking points that I was going to get to. Like, I don't know if you paid attention last year when Mac Jones was doing his thing. If you go back and watch whole games, if you had a chance to watch whole games, you see that he did make some contributions, but he wasn't carrying the team on his back. But if you're watching the 4-letter, if you're watching Fox, if you're watching NFL Today, they it's like, hey, there's Mac Jones dropping back and dipping the tackler and going in for the touchdown and throwing for 3. Like, and that might be his sole highlight of the game, but they make it seem like that was the thing that was him leading the Patriots into the playoffs. Right. I mean, between me, you, and the fence post, I will say this. I'm going to get, first of all, I want to give some props, a shout out to our boy, producer Sean, back behind the scenes doing his thing. When I first started doing this thing with you guys, I think it was last year when I started coming around and being part of the shows. Producer Sean has an eye for certain things. And he told me to look out for this guy named Bailey Zappe. I had never heard of him. I said, where does he play? In Western Kentucky?
Right, like
in Western Kentucky, where like the people from there say they from the eastern side of Tennessee because they don't want to be called from Kentucky. And I know that geography's wrong, but I said that just for comic effect. But after I started following the kid, and he's like, watch this guy. You watch this guy. I'm telling you, sometimes it's about the look out. What's that Sean say? He might be small, he might be playing in a small school, but the race. That whole thing, right? Insert the rest of Sean's famous quote here. Sure. But producer
the race
Sean
is not given to the swift, but to the we know it all.
The battle to the strong, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But he was right on point with it. He was on point with it. See, dude, Sean, if they ever
that's a monster stat. Wow.
You need to find the producers of the Peyton Manning trivia show and see if you can get on there with all that sports knowledge you got up there.
Oh my God, I would love to see him on the Manning shows. I love their show.
So yeah, with all that sports,
they're more entertaining than Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. That's for
Heck
sure.
yeah.
So for sure. But he turned me on to Bailey Zappe, and Zappe is the real deal. Now he's gonna make some rookie mistakes. He's made some rookie mistakes, but what rookies don't. I definitely see him as being more polished as a quarterback, as a rookie than Mac Jones is, and this is his sophomore season now, I believe it is.
Yeah, correct, Amundo.
I think in terms of long term, that's not to say Mac Jones can't be a good quarterback somewhere. I don't think New England is a spot for him. That's just
not fair enough.
You know, if you're asking me which one I'm gonna pick, give me the kid with the name that almost sound like the shoes. Give me the Zappe guy.
There you go. Sounds good. Well, Bill Belichick definitely has a decision to make, ladies and gentlemen. So we will definitely stay tuned to see what happens there. Now let's go to a quick video. For those of you not doing anything on Thursday, maybe you want to check out the Ladies Takeover show. Check this out. Well, alrighty there, folks. That is the Ladies Takeover show that is on Thursday evenings as part of the Let's Talk Football family of shows. You will catch Delilah there, Janae Struther, Kate Alverson, and Ash Swinton. So tune in on Thursday evenings for the Ladies Takeover show. Well, as part of the Ladies Takeover show, we do have the lovely Delilah Crespo with us. And it is time once again for this week or this day in NFL history.
All right, everybody. So I'm going to start off with the fun one, but also sad when you are this person. So on October 25th, in 1964 was the infamous wrong way run when Viking Jim Marshall picks up a San Francisco fumble and runs it 66 yards, but in the wrong direction, and ends up a safety for San Francisco. It is considered like a number one like NFL blooper. So it is the anniversary of that infamous run. So so I start off with that one. So sorry, Jim Marshall, because you'll never live that one down. All right, October 25th, 1998. Denver's Jason Elam kicks a 63-yard field goal, tying Tom Dempsey's 28-year-old NFL record at that time. So Elam's kick, which came at the end of the first half, matches Dempsey's record, which he set for New Orleans Saints against Detroit on November 8th, 1970. October 25th, 1998 again. So a lot of cool stuff happened in 1998 on this day. Jerry Rice set an NFL record when he caught a pass in his 184th consecutive game. Also during the game, Rice became the first player to surpass 17,000 career receiving yards. Also again, October 25th, 1998, Chris Carter of the Vikings broke the team record when he caught a pass in his 106th straight game. He also tied Bill Brown's Minnesota record of 76 career touchdowns in a 34-13 victory over the Lions. And then just a couple more things, but happened on October 26th. So on October 26th, 1980, the St. Louis Cardinals sacked Baltimore Colts QB's Burt Moon, an NFL record of 12 times in that game. It tied, but still. So Burt Moon got sacked 12 times in one game. Then on October 26, 1993, the NFL announces the new expansion team, the Carolina Panthers. So that is the birth of the Carolina Panthers, October 26, 1993. And there you have it, a couple days in history from a few years ago.
Well, Delilah, thank you very much for that. Oh, see, look, 1993. So the Panthers have been in existence for almost 30 years, right? 93. So 30 years next year, the Carolina Panthers franchise. There you go. Thank you for that. Well, now is the time, ladies and gentlemen, for our Game of the Week segment. And as for those of you paying attention every week, we bring on a guest for this. So today we're actually going to bring on a gentleman who you can see with the gentleman below me, Mr. Fingers, Anthony Handy, in the This Week in SEC Football. So please welcome to the program, Mr. Collin Passieu. Collin.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? What's happening?
How you doing there, buddy? How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. How are you guys doing?
Phenomenal. I have one question. Well, the first question, I feel this is very important that I ask you this. How in the hell do you work with Anthony Handy on a weekly basis? I just got to know that.
I've been knowing this guy for years, man. It takes a little bit to get used to, but no, we are one and the same. He calls me a brother from another mother for a reason. We have too much in common that we cannot be friends. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we were meant to be to put in each other's past, and we taught each other. Even though he's in way over there in Oklahoma, it's been a while since he and I actually talked or spoke until Sean. The Godfather that put us together again, and he put me into this podcast thing, and lo and behold, man, we've been doing it for what, Sean? Andy, probably around almost 2 years now. Yeah, so wouldn't change it for
awesome.
the world.
No, it's great to hear. No, again, of course, I'm just kidding. I love having Anthony on the show every week. How that goes. But let's talk about your Falcons for a little bit. I know that you and Handy and also Kyle are Falcons fans. And again, you've got a little bit of 3-4 is not bad. You guys are right in the hunt there due to the Tampa Bay self-destructing a little bit. And the Saints and Panthers, who knows where they're going, basically. But what do you feel about your quarterback situation with Mariota there? Obviously, like a lot of people agree, he's kind of a placeholder. But does Desmond Ridder get some action soon? What do you think? Did he ride Mariota, or do you think about putting in Desmond Ridder?
I want to be honest. I mean, I was watching you guys' show before I came on, and I kind of agree with what Anthony said there. I kind of wondered the same thing before he actually was put in. If he was a placeholder, I mean, I honestly don't know where else you would go to find a quarterback after Ryan left and to Indy. I mean that's a great question. I don't have an answer for. He's doing all right. I mean, from what he's being asked to do, I think he's doing all right. He's not doing too bad, to be honest with you. This game coming up this weekend, it's going to be kind of tough because we do have a couple of guys out on our defense. Hawkins, Terrell, and Hayward, they're out. So we're going to be kind of struggling on defense. But, as long as Alger can keep running the ball and so Mariota finding those receivers, I think we'll be fine.
Hey. Like I said, I actually, don't get me wrong, I'm not a hater of the Falcons. Just want to put that out there. I think I've said this before, I was actually a huge Mariota fan when he was coming out of college, and it was unfortunate to kind of see him not work out, with some of the other teams he's been with. And I thought, here's a second chance or third chance for Mariota maybe to kind of prove something. And again, given that I know you're 3-4, but you're literally right in the thick of that NFC South race. So, I mean, you guys are right there.
Kind of lucky for us that the NFC South is not that good this year, so we'll take it. We'll take it whatever we can get, man.
That for sure, man. Like I said, our team plays in the NFC North, and they thought we were going to be one of the worst bad divisions this year. So what are you going to do? Those things happen, my friend.
Yep.
But Collin, of course, was nice enough, because he's a hell of a guy, to pick a game of the week for us. Now, Collin, I'm actually glad you picked this game for a couple of reasons. Because I think there's a lot here. Collin has picked for us the Seahawks, as you can see there on the screen, versus the Giants. Now, we all know Seahawks, 4-3. Geno Smith playing pretty well. Got the Seahawks a little fired up. Maybe glad that they got rid of Russell Wilson, given what's happening in Denver there. And the Giants, we know, Giants are on fire. How do you go with a team that's, 6-1 and doing what they're doing? We got the two-headed monster of Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. But Delilah, I'm going to come to you first. How do you feel about this game this week? What are your thoughts?
I think it's going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be a fun game. I also like that we're finally choosing someone that isn't like the Chiefs. It's not nothing against them. It just felt like the last few picks have had the Chiefs. But no, I think this could be a fun game, and I actually think Seahawks could actually win this. Not because I don't believe in the Giants. That's not it. But I think the Seahawks actually have a chance just based on how they've been playing. Like Gino's been playing really smart. I think Pete Carroll, everybody thought he was going down as a coach, right? Everybody was questioning him, like, oh no, and also blaming him with the whole Russ Levy situation. But I guess looking at what's happening in Denver, we're starting to kind of lean towards maybe Pete Carroll was right the whole time.
Right.
But yeah, so I think it's working well. He's meshing good with his guys, right? He's connecting with like who we don't ever see DK Metcalf anymore, and all of a sudden he's getting plays again. You know what I mean? And so like I think it's kind of cool to watch. And so I think they actually will give the Giants a run for their money. Like I think they could actually be a challenge, and I think they could run away with this one. Doesn't mean the Giants season is over. Obviously, it's a long season, but I think they actually have a chance to win this game.
All right. Handy, give us your thoughts on Seahawks Giants, please. Hello, Mr. Handy, are you there? I think you need to unmute yourself, sir. We cannot hear you. Yes. Hello.
There we are. Giants.
There we go.
The Giants.
Thank you for joining us, sir. Thank you for joining us.
I'm right here, man. I don't seriously, dude. I don't know what's going on. I got a long way to go because I got another show after this one. I'm gonna have to get me a 5-hour energy or something.
It is.
Anyway, the Giants. Nobody was expecting this out of the Giants, so they have made this season fun to watch. Nobody was expecting. I mean, we expected Dallas to be good or better. We weren't quite sure what to expect. Sorry, Sean, not to knock you Washington, but we didn't know what to expect out of Washington, but we knew they were going to be in it. But nobody expected what's going on with the Giants right now, and it is making the NFL fun to watch in a season full of games that are just like they put this on Thursday night, huh? It's fun to watch the Giants play. And the Seahawks are looking resurgent. I told y'all, I'm happy to see Gino just get a shot, and he's definitely living. He's the embodiment of if you only had one shot, one opportunity, would you capture it or let it slip? He has a big bowl of mom spaghetti before every game. That's how he's balling out. That's it. I just want to. That's a game I just want to put up my feet and have a big bowl of popcorn and just sit back and then watch the fun. That's about it. I mean, Saquon Barkley, often injured. Saquon Barkley is just playing almost like his rookie season again. Daniel Jones, who? What?
I know.
Wait a minute. That's like wild. That's like. Listen, I mean, that's like. I was on the track. I ran track in high school, and come to find as it happened, the majority of the track teams in the public school system tended to be my complexion, or maybe a little lighter, but they tended to be my complexion. Okay, the fastest dude in the city was this Italian kid named Chris Labuti. I still remember his name to this day. His name was Chris Labuti.
Because it's Labuti.
And the kid was running like a 10. This is back in the 80s. So in high school, he was running like a 10.7, which was uber fast for high school back in the 80s. But so Danny Dimes is out here hooping and juking people, and do like didn't he go to Duke? Where did he learn that at? You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just fun to watch. So I'm like
Aren't they a basketball school? Duke football. No.
Right. I'm getting ready to like I said, popcorn, feet up, remote in hand. Let's go.
All right. Well, Collin, you picked this game, my friend. Go ahead and give us your thoughts on Seahawks Giants this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I actually agree with everybody that's spoken there. Yeah, it's going to be a fun game to watch. But yeah, Geno Smith, just looking last week against LA, he had 210 yards and 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. But Kenneth Walker, I mean, come on, Kenneth Walker had 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he's balling out. And you got Marquise Goodwin, he had 67 yards on 4 catches and 2 touchdowns. And it's just. Then you can't say nothing about Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, quarterback, had 202 yards and 1 touchdown, and he had 107 yards rushing and 1 touchdown. And so he had Saquon, had 110 yards, to boot. So I mean, it's gonna be a nice game. I mean, depending on who has the better defense, I think the line. What is the line around 3.5, somewhere around there? And I think
right now the early line is 3 points. Yeah,
it's 3 points. Yeah, so Seattle's picked for that, and that's only because it's at home. I'm sure. But it's going to be a great game. I mean, that's what I see. But Giants are actually fun to watch, and Seattle I think was a great move to put Geno in.
No, for sure. I think you made a good point there, Collin, though, in terms of I think this game comes down to defense. Can Seattle stop Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones from running? Can the Giants stop Kenneth Walker? Because that kid appears to be poised to really, like Sean said, make a really big, for running back one there. Because the kid, he was, I heard about him before he got into the league. He got into the league at the Seahawks. You thought the kid could be good. Would he get any playing time? And now he's looking like he's going to be the stud for Seattle going forward. So, Collin, any final thoughts for you? Anything you want to talk about? We'll give you, a minute or so, Serge, to just get whatever's on your mind there. Thank you for coming on this week.
Oh, man. Obviously, man, I appreciate you guys having me. Delilah, I think this is the first time I've actually been on a show with you. Very nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you.
and everybody in the Let's Talk family, I appreciate Sean, the Godfather. I mean, can't thank you enough for being and all these guys' path here. I've had such a blast. That's pretty much it, man. I love the group chats and all that kind of stuff, all the banter and stuff. That's it. I'm loving life, being just friends with you guys. That's all, man.
Yeah, we talk a lot of crap in that
group chat.
I wish we could share some of that stuff sometimes with people. Yeah.
Delilah, I'm gonna get you a bear suit, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and get you one of them.
Oh my God, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I was like, I felt the guy's pain though.
Are you crying? Are you crying? Yeah.
That is good.
I'm crying. It's right.
All right. Well, listen, Collin, thank you so much for coming on. We truly appreciate it. That is our game of the week, of course, ladies and gentlemen. Seahawks Giants. Definitely one to check out. Collin, again, thank you for coming on. We know you're going to be on with Handy later for this week in SEC. So we look forward to that. And we'll talk to you again soon, my friend. Thanks again.
All right. Thanks. I'll see you.
All right. Now, let us go to a video. For those of you who like what you're seeing here, we have many more shows in the Let's Talk Football family. So why don't you go ahead and take a look at that. We'll be right back. Hey, thank you for coming back with us. That was, of course, a kind of just a quick preview of all the shows we have here in the Let's Talk Football family. So we pretty much have a show on every day of the week, so you can catch us. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Anything anywhere you find us, you find us. But let us go ahead and move on with the show. Another popular segment that we have here is one that stars the young man with the Atlanta Falcons hat on. Is Mr. Handy, and it is time now for the Rookie Spotlight. Take it away, Mr. Fingers, Mr.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls. How is everybody doing? Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's edition of Let's Talk Football, the Roundtable. I am your guy, Mr. Fingers, coming to you from Zappe Central, all the way in the heart of Oklahoma City with this week's Rookie of the Week. This Rookie of the Week has not seen a lot of playing time yet, but he was one of the baddest dudes on the gridiron. I watched this guy come up from just scrapping to get playing time to become a starter and watch the evolution of his play. There was not a person on the field that he could not tackle. It didn't matter. He was right in the middle of that front seven. He was a general on the field. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than University of Georgia's Nakobe Dean. Nakobe played high school football at Horn Lake High School in Missouri. He's actually a Missouri guy. He was a 5-star recruit who straight up committed to Georgia. He got offers from Ole Miss. He got offers from Alabama. Wait a minute. MSMO, not Missouri, Mississippi. I'm sorry. I got my abbreviations wrong, y'all. I'm having that 50s day. MS is Mississippi. That's where that comes from. He got offers from Ole Miss and Alabama, but he decided he wanted to go to Go Dog Nation. And that turned out to be fortuitous for the Dogs as they wound up running the table, except for, of course, the conference championship en route to last year's national championship. As a true freshman, he had injuries during that season, and he still logged 25 tackles in limited playing time. He won the Butkus Award in 2021, of course, the national championship season. As you know, and that's the award for those of you that are not following. That's for the nation's best college football linebacker. Pardon me, I'm so sorry. I'm just so excited to talk about Nakobe Dean. He wound up finishing the season as he was a key cog in that defense. Like if you watched any college football last year, there was no mistake who the best defense in the country was. It belonged to the guys in Athens that played in Sanford Stadium, those Dogs. He wound up declaring for the draft, and he was picked up in he had some limited time at the combine because he was fighting an injury. It came out during the combine that he had an injury, which wound up, we still thought he was going to get drafted pretty high. I mean, there was no way watching this guy play on the field and what he did and said it. If he played like that and he was injured, good God, we'd hate to see him at 100%. But he wound up sliding way down the third draft. He was picked 83rd overall by the Philadelphia Eagles. And I mean, everybody was surprised. That was the big question. Even during the draft watch party, people were messaging me going, "What's going on with your boy?" I have no clue. I could call him if I had his number, but anyhow, he got picked up by the Philadelphia Eagles, and he has not seen a bunch of playing time so far. Right now, he's doing some special teams work, and they're getting him in. He's more of a situational guy. And of course, he's up there playing with our guy Jordan Big Baby Dave, 6'4", 260 pounds, running 4.6. Big Baby Jordan Davis. So I'm looking forward to seeing this guy on the field. Now, the things that I like about Nakobe Dean, I don't even know why I'm looking at this paper because I don't really need to look at this paper to tell you about Nakobe Dean. If you talk to the OG, if you talk to Collin, they will tell you. All I talked about defensively last season was Nakobe, Jordan Davis. That man has a motor, and that motor, if he is the middle linebacker from snap to about 2.5 seconds, he is sideline to sideline. He could drop back into coverage, 5-10 steps into coverage, and still wind up making a tackle behind the line of scrimmage when he sees the play has gone the opposite way. It's a swing pass or a pitch out or a jet sweep. I mean, every time you turn around, if somebody was making a tackle, Nakobe was more than likely in the middle of that pile. I mean, he's even made some big plays right in the middle of the field, made a couple of interceptions as well. There's nothing on that field that this guy can't do. He's good at reading. If he knows the coverages, he studies film. He's good at picking out coverages and calling them out. I cannot wait for them to put him on the field where he naturally plays and see what he can contribute to that Eagles defense. I mean, the Eagles defense is holding its own right now, let's be fair. But good God, if they put that boy out there, it's going to be something special with Big Baby on the line and him out there in the middle of that field. But that's not the only reason that I like Nakobe Dean, ladies and gentlemen. He's also in the community service now. He forewent his final season at Georgia to go ahead and join the NFL in the draft last year. He's got about 30 credits left on his mechanical engineering degree. Okay. He's a mechanical engineering major. And at the time he graduated, I believe he had like a 3.6 GPA. So no slouch academically either. But he has taken over a program in Philadelphia called the Student Health and Oral the Student and it's called Student Health and Oral Health Impact Project Initiative. And that's where they take kids from the inner city and they make sure they get eye exams and eye, ear, nose, and throat exams to make sure that they stay healthy. Because the big thing that his parents taught him, he said, was that, there's a lot of kids from the inner city. It's not just the money. It's not just the economic situations. It's not just their surroundings that affect their potential for education. It's also their health and their access to healthcare. So this is an existing program that he has taken the mantle for, and he has been moving forward with that. And like I said, I mean, this is a phenomenal young man. And then the third reason I love Nakobe Dean, he is also a member of the Divine Nine. He and I are not fraternity brothers, but he is an esteemed member of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, where he was initiated at the University of Georgia while he was going to practice, to class, and holding a 3.6 GPA. That's why when you see him throw up the hooks, that's all about that Q Psi Phi right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is an all-around great dude, and I'm telling you, I cannot wait to see when they cut this good dog loose, when they let him loose on the field and he starts ripping stuff up in Philadelphia. Hopefully not against my Atlanta Falcons. Maybe he'll tone it down for them. But anybody else, cut loose on them, Nakobe. We got you. Go Dogs. And that's been your Rookie of the Week, Nakobe Dean.
Ooh.
All right, Mr. Handy, thank you for that, sir. I mean, yeah, look forward to seeing him on the field there in Philadelphia. Like you said, being an undefeated team so far, I'm sure he'll get his chance, my friend. And not a bad place to be right now for old Nakobe Dean. So we'll be looking more forward to hearing about him. Thank you again, Anthony. Now, of course, we come to the segment that I'm starting to enjoy a little bit more and more as the weeks go by, and I can tell you why, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for Nick's Picks. Yes, we do want to thank producer Sean for all the videos, introductions that we have now for all of our segments. Thank you, Sean, very much for that. I love seeing 4 of myself on the screen pointing my finger. That's a phenomenal thing, so thank you very much for that. But, of course, it is time for Nick's Picks, and as you can imagine, I'm very happy this week. You know why, ladies and gentlemen? Because I went 4-0 last week, making my total for the last 2 weeks 7-1. So now all I'm saying is, listen to what I have to say, because I'm 7-1 in the last 2 weeks. But that brings my total record for the year to 500. Yes, I have hit it. 14-14 on the year. I am back to 500. And so I've come at you this week with 4 more games. Hopefully I'll go 4-0 again, and we can all celebrate next week. So here we go. Game number 1. Mr. Spencer, if you please. Patriots-Jets. Now, we saw what our beloved Bear Delilah did to the Patriots last night. And I believe the Jets are just really firing on all cylinders right now. I got James Robinson coming in. The defense is playing well. They took apart the Packers a couple of weeks ago. And to my surprise, I found them as a 1.5-point underdog to the Patriots. So I'm going to take that 1.5 and give it to the Jets this week. I'm going to take the Jets plus 1.5 over the Patriots. Next game, if you would, sir. This is a good one, because I know Sean's like, don't talk about my Commanders. Don't talk about my Commanders. But I'm sorry, Sean. This game intrigues me for a few reasons. The Commanders are taking on the Colts. Yes, Sam Ehlinger will be starting this week. And the Commanders are the underdog, which is a little surprising given that they're starting a rookie quarterback. I get Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman Jr. I mean, they do have some guys on offense that can move the ball. But I think, why are you doing this to me, Nick? You are going to jinx us. Well, I don't think I am. I think your boy Taylor Heineke can, a little confidence. You guys beat Green Bay. The kid looked like he played pretty well. You're a 3-point underdog. So I'm going to take your Commanders plus the 3. Go get them. That's all I can say, Sean. Go get them. Beat the Colts. Next game, please. Yes, Bengals Browns, a Halloween night matchup on Monday Night Football. To me, and I don't want to say this is a no-brainer because I know that AFC North games are always tough. But I'm telling you, I think the Bengals are back, baby. If you looked at that game Sunday with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Tyler Boyd, good Lord, was that a butt whooping. And I'm telling you, their defense has been actually probably better than the offense up until last week. Their defense has really been playing really well. And the line is holding up. Not great still, but the line is holding up. And once that happens, Joe Burrow goes to work. And I'm telling you, who did the Bengals play last week? Great. Now you're going to make me think a lot, smart guy. That was which game was that? That wasn't the Saints, was it? Who did the Bengals play? No, the Bengals this Sunday just beat up on
Atlanta.
Man, why couldn't Atlanta?
Atlanta. That's why. That's why.
I know.
That's why Anthony turned off his camera.
Sorry about that, folks. I had a bad brain fart. Yes, that's right. They beat the Falcons. Yeah, Sean, David Wright, just stop that, Sean. Yes, exactly. But anyways, as I was saying, I think the Bengals win this game, and I think they can win by more than 3 points. So I will take the Bengals minus the 3 against Cleveland on Halloween night. And for my last game, and it's coming, folks. I know I'm going to hear about this one because you guys told me, I could see the looks on your faces last week about me taking the Bears plus that 7.5 against the Patriots. I told you what was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to be quite that much. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think they'd beat them by 19 and really dominate the game. But I did think my Bears had it in them. And David Wright, of course, still not betting on the Bears. I get it. Understand. But they're getting 9 points against the Cowboys. Now, again, I know that Cowboys defense is good. I will not downplay that at all. I'm prepared for that. I get it. But I also know that we do have a two-headed monster back there in David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert to match the two-headed monster on the other side with Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard. So to me, this is going to come down to that. I think it's going to be which defense can really stop the other one. The running game, I think the Bears can keep it close. That's why I'm going to take them plus the 9. I'm not necessarily saying they're going to win this game. This is a tough matchup, and this is one where we can prove ourselves. Yes, David, I realize you're a Cowboy fan. I know you're them boys, but I'm hoping your boys have an off week and we catch them to give us a 500 record. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to take the Bears plus 9 and hope for a very good game and hope that the Bears have figured out some of their, issues and have corrected them appropriately. So those are my games for this week. Bears plus 9. We also had Bengals minus the 3. We had Commanders plus the 3, and then, of course, Jets plus the 1.5. So thank you. Remember, 14-14. Hopefully have another 4-0 week. Let's get it, baby. So thank you very much for watching that. Let's go to one more video. I believe this is a video for our NFC South Takeover show. So let's take a look at this. And, of course, that was a preview for the NFC South Takeover show, which usually airs right before us on Tuesdays. So be on the lookout for that as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, of course, it has come to that time of the show we all love. It is time for One Last Thought. And this is just us giving an opinion on something or telling us how we're feeling and all that good stuff. So this week, of course, One Last Thought. We're going to start with you, Mr. Handy. Go ahead and give us your last thoughts, sir.
I got a lot of thoughts after the producer Sean just threw my birds under the bus. After I supported him staunchly yesterday when him and Janae was doing their thing. I even threw. I roll up in the comments and stole Janae one in the comments. It's like, yeah, it's no worse than losing by 13 seconds. And he was like, oh, ouch.
Wow.
Then he just straight like, ooh, hey, Marcus Mariota, can you pick that dime up for me? Oh, what dime? Right in front of the number 10 bus. I got a lot of thoughts. So anyway, but I'm very happy to be here. No,
yeah,
real,
of course.
Real talk. Look, we were having a talk. God, we were talking before the show, and we were talking about joking about how sometimes the weather, when you have really bad weather, especially where you guys live in Chicago, that it is so bad that it just make you just want to question whether or not you want to go to work.
Yes.
And Delilah said she took advantage of last weekend and enjoyed the weather. Listen, folks, fall is upon us, whether you want it to be here or not. And in a few short weeks, it will be cold, and you all be complaining, going, "Oh my God, I wanted the spring and the summer back." After you complained all summer about how hot it was, listen, enjoy and enjoy whatever nice weather you got left now. There's a few weekends, depending on where you live. Probably here it's going to be warm for another couple weeks. Although I'm shocked because generally it's cold enough now where you can be that sweater weather. Just enjoy the weather. Get out and go do something nice while the weather's nice, and just try and that's it. That's all I got, because I can talk about all the other stuff about take care of yourself and say your prayers and take your vitamins. I think I say that every week. So just go find something nice to do this weekend. It doesn't have to cost no money, and just go out and enjoy the nice weather while you got it. Because after a while, it's gonna be cold, and you're gonna be cooped up in the house, and you're gonna be like, I'm so bored. I thought you couldn't wait for UGG weather and scarves and apple cider and pumpkin spice latte. Now it's here. Enjoy it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Andy. I will hopefully we'll try. It's Halloween weekend here, so yeah, you know how that goes. Delilah, go ahead. Let's go with your last thought.
That's basically what I was going to say. Halloween is next Monday. It's a fun, spooky season or weird season. Or if you don't like spooky, it's still fun fall season. And I agree with Anthony. I enjoy the fall. Like, it's a good time in Chicago. Summer and fall are my favorite seasons here. Everything else is like, spring is just wet and just as cold. Yeah. It doesn't get warm until summer.
That's very true. Lately around here.
Yeah. So anyway, but no, seriously, it's spooky season, fun season, whatever you want to call it, whatever, We also have Dia de los Muertos coming up for Mexican Americans and other Latin Americans who celebrate Dia de los Muertos. So it's just kind of enjoy this season, honestly. Like, just enjoy it. I agree. It's going to be, depending where you are. Arizona is like, 200 degrees in the summer? No, thank you. Die.
It's 200 degrees in Arizona in January. I've been there. I synced it.
I'm sorry.
Right.
But anyway, no, but seriously, enjoy spooky season. I love Halloween. Halloween and Christmas are like my favorite holiday seasons.
Yeah.
So it's just a good time, honestly. So yeah, enjoy some fall fun. Dress up, go to a party or don't. Give out candy. Whatever it is that you do. Enjoy spooky season, everybody. Because the next one is Thanksgiving, which is also is overlooked. To me, Thanksgiving is a holiday that should not be overlooked, because that's when you really max out. Like, it's literally like a holiday about eating a lot of great food with your family and loved ones.
Correct. Thanksgiving's a favorite of mine too, Delilah. Believe me. We'll talk more about that in November. Well, thank you for that. We appreciate that. Of course, my last thought, real quickly. Yes, Monday we know is Halloween. And I know that some kids still go trick-or-treating, and you still have, there's still, grown men, teenagers, whatever, grown women that go out and trick-or-treat as well. They take their kids, whatever. It's just something, and I know people have said this. This is not something new, but I think it's just something that should be said. If a teenager comes to your house and asks for candy, just give it to them.
I agree. 100%.
They're trying to enjoy the spirit of the holiday. They're getting into it. They could be out doing something else, getting into trouble, but they're not. They're taking the time to trick or treat, go have a little fun, be like a kid again. Give them the candy. Don't give them a hard time. They're just enjoying the holiday. I mean, that's what it's about, right? Why do people go trick or treating? To get candy. So again, it just, real quick, like that, I said, Halloween is an enjoyable time. Like I said, if you're not into all the spooky stuff, that's fine. It doesn't have to be that for you. It's still fall. Get out, take a walk, put on your costume, do what you do, get your little bag out. People who are giving out candy are giving out candy for a reason. They're into the spirit as well. So don't be mean. Someone comes to your door, looks a little bit older. Don't ask them why they're trick or treating. Just have a little fun, give them a little candy. They'll be on their merry way, and you'll feel better too. So that's really all I have to say about that in the immortal words of Forrest Gump. Again, that brings our show to a close, which, again, man, these hours seem to go by really fast, don't they, guys? I tell you. But thank everyone for watching. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks again to our guest, Collin Passieu. Appreciate that. Again, guys, just thank you so much. We're here every Tuesday. We do our best to entertain you and to give you the football stuff. So thank you for watching. Until next week, for Anthony Handy, Delilah Crespo, I'm Nick Rosario. Peace and more hair grease. Have a good week, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Take it easy. Good night.